we start. So first of all, how to add a user? We already added a user. Okay, we already added a user. So then if you want to add more users, then we can able to add the users. To before adding a user, we should know um, whether users are okay. Okay, so what are the users are there? What are the groups are there? We have to verify. So already I told these things like a passwd file. This is a file which contains a user information. /etc group contains a group information. What are the groups are in your PC? It is showing in a groups. /etc shadow. It will show you what is your password for a user in an encrypted format. Okay, password not showing in a normal format, text format. It is showing in an encrypted format. So different symbols are there. Okay, and as well as minimum password is, maximum password is also there. Okay, first of all we should see these files, so then we will understand who are the what are the users are created, what are the groups are there, and what are the what users having password and no password kind of stuff. Okay, I'm using a cat command for everything. Okay, so first of all we see what are the existing users, and after adding a user also we have to go through all these things. Okay, so here is our fresh window. So first of all cat space /etc/passwd. If you want, you can use less more commands also because of very big page. Okay, so we are seeing here what it is from root is a user, and a password is x. It is showing it represent password, but it is won't show any password here. 0 0, it's a user id, group id. Root is a name of a root. Okay, that's a comment. /root is a home directory for root, and bin bash is a login shell. So when you log into Linux, so current Linux by default it is a bash shell only. So this is our login. And if you see from here to here, and most of the users, I think so, yeah, this one and this one except these few, most of the users having a has been no login. Has been no login means has been represent admin command center. Okay, and no login means we cannot log in with that user. For example, you can see adm, we cannot log in with adm. We can't log in with operator. You cannot log in with a mail account. Why? Because of it's a service accounts. These are a service account, so certain process run by a service accounts only. Okay, the mail process is there, so that service is run by mail account, but it is not for a normal user account. Like when you log into the windows account, so you're logging with your name, right? So that's a normal account. That's a either it is administrator command or a long term. Best example, understand ssh. Like we are connecting with the ssh, right? Who will take care of that process? Ssh user only, but we cannot log in with ssh. We can't type su space hyphen ssh or login with ssh root ssh. Like we can't log it because of no login account. But this is the user is a service account user will take care of your login to pc with ssh account, with ssh protocol, like that. So here I want to explain my account, existing account. Okay, what it is. Already I done this one. Okay, but I'm going to repeat this one. This is the username. Actually we can say it's a login name. Okay, so we can say it is a login name or a username, anything we can say. So whatever the name you put it, we have to log in with it. For example, some people while creating accounts, so they'll put a s, then it is become capital S student only. Okay, present password, but okay, so that's we don't have to do anything with that one. So user id, user id, this is group id. So every user must have a user id. So in a Linux we see user ids and we can modify user IDs, or we can change the user IDs. Okay, or we can create a when we are adding a user, you can use the user ID. And remember, this is a first account we created in a Linux. When we installing a Linux, we added a user, right? So when we are installing a Linux operating system, we added a user that got automatically by default 1000 only. It means whenever you adding a next account, so you will get next number after 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004 only. If you want, when you are adding a user, you want to add a user ID on yourself, then you have to take a higher number than 1000 only, not less than 1000. Why? Because of already certain accounts already taken a different kind of user IDs. See, like this. This is a user IDs which is already taken by different users. We should not use same user ID. So to avoid that conflict, so better to use higher than 1000 only. Same thing will go for a group ID. Every user must be in a group. Okay, every user must be in a group. For example, I have a user one, and it should be in a group. For example, group one. Okay? It's a primary group. It's a primary group. Okay, so compulsory every user must be in a primary group. Without that one, so it won't be there. Okay, okay, to get that one we have to specify which primary group. Otherwise what will happen, it will create a same user account. I will show you that examples. Okay, so every user must be in a group, and every group should have a group ID. So that is a group ID of a this user. And this student is nothing but a comment. What is a meaning of comment? Like anything you can able to put it. Last time I given, like you are a user and you are a administrator, for example. You can name a new comparison. So this is a user account. I put a comment is a system engineer. Okay, otherwise a program analysis, something like this is a comment. Or maybe I can use only like this only. So I can use a comment as a name, or I can use a comment as a some job position, or maybe like she's become a HR. So I put a HR only. So like that, okay, we can put a comment on it. This is a home directory. This is user's home directory. What is a home directory? Home like this. So I'm for giving it some space so then we don't confuse. Okay, so it's a home directory. So what is the meaning of home directory? Is uh, if I put some data, so when I log in with the student account, so by default I get a home directory. So when I create a file, it will store in my home directory only. Just for example, in Windows operating system, so when you log in with an account, so you will get a your my documents, my pictures, my videos, my desktop, like that. So this is the home directory for the student. So the student has the rights to the user. Student means it's a user has the rights to put a data in his home directory. You cannot put a data in another directories until unless he need a permission. But student get another all the permission. For example, if I have another account, for example, again user one, user want to put a data in slash home slash student, he cannot put it. Why? Because of that is the student directory has only permission to student user only, not for any other users. Okay, of course root can put it, that's a different point. The root have a all the permission. Root is the administrator of your Linux, is has all the privileges. Normal accounts don't have all privileges, there's a limited privileges. Bin bash, oh, what is a bin bash? Is a login shell. So whenever you log in, so you will get a shell login. So for example, if you see root, can you see this is a shell login? So bash shell login like this. And what are the command you give? That is also bash commands only. Okay, so it will understand your shell and shell commands. So shell will understand and give it to the kernel. Okay, so this is our information regarding to your student, your user. So if you want to see all the user informations, so you can see from passwd. Okay, next one is cat space slash etc. What is etc? Etc is a directory. So slash is a root directory, and under that one etc directory, under etc passwd file is there. And next is another file is group file, slash etc slash group. Okay, so when you type it also, just read it. When you type, so just read it like cat space slash etc slash group. Then your mouth and your mind will habituated to speak in that language. If you are typing from a text note, like if I see like take like, okay, so I'm typing like this, cat slash, okay, take like, okay, completed. Command will run, command works, there is no problem. But not only that one, so what I'm saying, if you are keep on speaking while you are practicing, so when at the time of interview, or maybe at the time of you are telling to someone, or maybe for memory purpose, it is very useful when you are typing it. Okay, so these are the group information. So this is a slash etc group file contains group information. Root is a group, and this is the group id. Like these are all groups only. Okay, these are all groups only. Okay, and here this is also a group. This is a group id, and this is a user. It's a self group type. Okay, so like this is a group name. So here I put a login name or username, so both are same. This is the group name and this is the group id. Okay, this is a user, this is a username. Okay, so sometimes you don't see the user here, but it is showing user here. It is become a self primary and secondary type. Okay, but you won't see the much users in this side. Okay, but whatever it is, this is the group id. If you are comparing this one, this is the group id. The group id is 1000, and if you see this is the group id is 1000. It means this is the group name for a group id to the 1000, right? This is the group name, and who is the group here? It is a student. The student is a user and student is a group here. Understand? Student is a user and student is a group. So that's the thing. So this is a group id. Group id. So this is a group name, and it means it's a student. If you want to verify that information, then you can information verify like this. See, id space student. Okay, so you can use the command id space student, so then you will get like this. 1000, so user id is 1000 and username is student. Okay, group id is 1000 and group name is 1000, and groups are is a student and as well as a wheel. If you remember last time we add a user to the wheel group, so we added our user to wheel group. Okay, how we added, if you forget, then I will show you again, no problem. Okay, and one more command is id student. If you want to know, okay, your user id and group id, or maybe a particular users user id and their group id and groups in that one, so you can use the command is id. Okay, so you want to know it is like a man id print real and effective user and group ids. Okay, see, so you can whenever we discuss with the commands, if you want to know about it, then you can use it. Okay, and this is a root account, right? So this is a root account. If you want to know UMI, this is a root account. So I put a id. It is showing id for root account only. root user id, root group id, and root groups. That's it. That's the thing. Okay. The last one, cat space slash etc slash shadow. If you see, there is a only account is showing like this. First one and last one. One is the root, another one is student. Because these are all no login accounts, so no password. These things. Okay. So 6 represent what the hashing algorithm you are using, and what is the level of encryption. So this is the password. Okay. This password meaning is admin@123, but it is showing in a encrypted format. So we don't understand actual password it is. Okay. And this is minimum password age and maximum password age and warning, and other things are not showing. Other things include like a expiry date, if you are define expiry date, or if you are define inactive stage or unlock conditions. So this it will show like that. Okay, so in these places expiry date we can able to fix that one. Okay, zero means minimum password age, already I explained in previous video. Okay, it is there. Okay, maximum password age means before password will be expired, you have to change the password, right? So that is a maximum. These many days password will be password until unless you change it. Again, once you change it, again it will be extended to another 99999 days. So we should not take like that one. So for example, 40 days is a maximum password days. Instead of that 999 kind of stuff, I took a 40 days. So before 40 days I have to change the password, then it will give you another 40 days. Why? Because of password can be compromised anytime by, like, what password you put it, your favorite names only, right? I put a password admin@123. It's a common password, anybody can be able to guess it. Like some people put a password like this, so the people can able to guess it while you are talking, while you are typing, like that, right? If you keep on changing password, so people cannot able to guess your password, so they can't log into your pcs. Okay, so for your protection, you must change the password frequently. So like bank accounts having a 180 days password changes, like that. Okay, so this is about your shadow file, and I'm going to copy last one. It is showing a very big, so we'll see. I'm cutting from here. Okay, now it is in two lines. It's okay, no problem. So first, this is a hashing algorithm, and this is hashing and password level. It's actually hashing level. Okay, this is the your encrypted password. Minimum password is, maximum password is, warning level. What is the warning? Before your password is going to be expired, so it will tell you whether it is. So it will give you warning like, oh, you must change the password and all. So when you're adding a user, you must verify all these files initially. Later on days, you can verify only this, but all our practicals we use these things. Okay. Here to show you everything, I use a cat command, but this time we use only tail command. Okay. So this is a user add command. So if you want to search, meanwhile you can search it. Give me a minute, so I will be back. Oh, it's quarter to one. So no problem. So we are first we are add a users, groups, and all kind of stuff. We'll see what we can able to do it. Okay. Now user add is a command to add a user. So I'm going to add a user. A username is user1. Okay. Enter. See, simple. User is added. No errors and all. So user is added. Now I have to verify. Tail space hyphen 3. Okay. So now all 3 I will take it now. Passwd. Take it. So student is an account, and user one is also an account. So it is created automatically. And if you observe, see user 1 is a account name, and you can see user id and group id and home directory and shell login. But where is the comment? This is the comment here, but where is the comment here? There is no comment because I didn't mention any comment here, so it won't take the comment. And if you see, this is a group id is different from here. It means it is added to another group. Okay, so how to verify that one? So again, tail minus slash etc slash group. Guys, one more suggestion, sincere suggestion is, when you're typing a command, don't use up arrow, down arrows, or copy paste. Try to type in initially. So I'm not telling every time. So after you are habituated to use Linux, then you can use it. So if you are become a master, or maybe you are done all the practicals and all, so without seeing notebooks and all, you can use up arrow, down arrow, copy paste, and like that, it is okay, no problem. But initially try to type it, so make more your fingers to habituated to type it. Okay, I'm not a typist, like I didn't learn any typing or typing lessons and all, but still I can able to type a little bit. Why? Because of I'm doing this from longer time. That too, luckily in Linux, you have to type everything. In Windows, you don't need to do it. So because of Linux only, mainly I learn basic typing things, and not much. You still have to see the keyboard in a certain only one letter, and also I must see it. Command should be habituated to your fingers without seeing keyboard, without seeing any notes. Just to see at a terminal, you can able to type it. That's a thing you have to learn in a Linux, mainly in a command line, not only in a Linux, any command line things. So the command should be stored in your fingers only. So fingers should be typed. Okay. So without looking at your keyboard and all. Okay. So that's it. Okay. We'll see. Here is a new group is created. See, user ID is this one, and group ID is again this one. This is the group ID and user one. So this is a user, and here is a group. So what happening here? So this is the user and this is the group. So what happened? I didn't specify any group while I'm adding a user. So automatically my user is added to same name with the group, like it is automatically. Try to understand. When I adding a user one, I didn't specify any group. So user where user should add it to a particular group. I didn't specify anything. So what happened? When I'm adding a user, automatically it creates the command created a group with a user name only. What are the username I specified here? With the same name only, group is created, and group ID is also created, and user is added to that group only. User is added to that group only. Okay, that's a thing here. It is happened. Next, tail space hyphen. Why 3 means I last 2 is enough. Actually, hyphen 2 is enough. 2 users are only there. Okay, we don't require all other information. So I try to cut only 2, but it is become very narrow. So I put a 3. So next time also I can use 3. It's not required like you should use a 3. You can use 1, 2, no problem. So 2 means for comparison only I put a 3 or a 2. Okay. And here if you see the student, if you see here a student has a 6 and as well as a encrypted password, and warning levels and all is there, right? But if you see here in a user don't have a $6 and as well as this encrypted password, and something number is came up, but it is showing like this. This is a different number, like when it is created like that. Okay, so why there is a no password for a user one? Because we didn't give any password. Last verification ID user one. So this is the ID user one means 1001 user ID, 1001 group ID, and group name is also user one, and groups again 1001 group name is user one. Okay, this is a verification. So every time you created a user in a different options, okay, so every time you have to verify, then you will understand what is going on, what is happening, what is the differences between that command and this command. Really you have to verify it. So last one is we should assign a password. Without a password you can't log into user. Okay, if you want to log into user you must need a password. So if without a password you can't log in. That's a rule in a Linux. Okay, of course if you want to log into Linux without a password, still you can able to log in, but you need to change the settings. That login definitions are there. No? There we have to put it no user required, or maybe zero for a user. Number of characters for a user is zero. Like that we can able to change it. Okay, so we are not doing that one. So just we are assigning a password. Passwd is a command to assign a password. Passwd. You must remember passwd. It's a highly frequently used command. Okay, so passwd user one. To change the password you must give passwd user one. Okay, if you give like this it's very danger. So by default like you are in a root and you type passwd and you put a enter. So what will happen, you see, it is changing the password for root. If you change the password password root password will be changed. Immediately you have to change it back to your original password only. Otherwise you have to remember the password. If you type some randomly there is a problem. Okay, now I don't want to change the password, so what I'm doing is I'm putting control C. What I'm doing, I'm putting control C, exit from it. Don't change the password, don't do blindly. Okay, so if you do blindly it is problem for you only. Okay, your next practical will be stop. Next time you open your machine and it is asking for a root password, you type a password and it is telling it is wrong because you changed your root password and you didn't remember what password you are giving. So either don't change the password or remember the password. Only two things you can able to do it. Okay, next, to change the password for other users, only passwd. If you type it, it means you are changing your own user password. Currently root is login. For example, I am login with a student and type passwd, it means I am trying to change the password for student only. If I am trying to change the password for other users, then you have to type username compulsory. Passwd username, this is important, so try to understand and do it properly. Okay, if you do mistakes, of course it's a mistake, and you must know what you done. Okay, what password you given and what mistake you done, then if possible you can revert it. And if you forget root password, again you have to know how to change the actual root password, like that. Okay, so okay, passwd user one, that user one is my user, right? So passwd user one, it is asking for changing password for user one. So I'm typing password, it not show anything. It don't show any stars, it don't show any symbols while you are typing. It is a plain one. Okay, so I'm typing user one, I typed enter. That password no problem. User one, retype the password. Now all authentication token update successfully, means you are given a password correctly. You are given a password correctly. So two times you type exact password, that's it. And you should remember what type password you typed it also. Otherwise write note down on your notes what user you created, what password you are given also, if you don't remember, till you are habituated. Once you are habituated, everything you will get it automatically. Okay, so this is how we can able to create a user and how to verify the user in a slash etc slash passwd file and slash etc slash group slash etc slash shadow files. And also we can verify with id command, id space user one, and also we can able to change the password using a passwd user one. Okay, so again I'm going to my notepad, so I'm adding what we done here. So of course simplest thing is history. So here what we done, so we verified all these things, clear student id, tail kind of stuff, user id from here, right? Okay, so First we have to add a user and verify these files. So all were for verification, how to verify user, how to verify these things. I'm removing this one, so don't use single passwd, use this one only. This is for to change users password. Okay. This is for verification, this is for adding a user. Okay, of course I will tell you other type of adding a users also, by adding through group and all kind of stuff. Okay. uh, this is one user add thing. So many user adding things are there, but I want to how to log in with user. This is a putty again. This is thing load open. Yeah, write my IP address. So login with you. I have a password right now. So user one, enter. User one is a password, enter. While you're typing password, already I told it is not showing anything. And if you see the dollar, it is means it's a normal user, and this is the user one. You want to check pwd, so /home /user one is a home directory. Okay, so if you type who am I, so it is showing from where you log in and what is your user account. It is showing like this. If you type id, just id, then it is showing your user id, your group id, and this one. So you don't need to put a user id space user kind of stuff. So I log in with the user one. If I type who will log into my Linux PC. So root from physical terminal directly, and another root from putty, user one from the putty. So this is how you can able to log in. Okay, so this is the one. Next time I will after lunch break I will try to show you how to add a group. So next class we will see how to add group, then how to add user with a particular group. Okay, with a primary group. Okay. So along with group, so I want to add a user, but it should not create its own name group, but it has we should add it to a existing group. How to do it? Okay, next how to modify user. User means user name, account, or anything, and how to delete user. These things we are going to learn in afternoon. Okay, guys. Um, so take a lunch break now. So come back at 2:30. Okay, so I will be there in 2:30 max to max. If in case if I'm late, then we will see that one later. Okay, I'll be maximum. I will be available at 2:30. Okay, don't be late. It's okay if I will inform by 2:15 if anything delays occur, but mostly 2:30 afternoon we'll see all these things. And meanwhile, practice. Have a lunch, practice. So that's my point. Okay, that's it. I'm going to